10 largest interstate in the USA. Interstate 90 is a transcontinental highway stretching 3,021 miles across the northern United States from Seattle, Washington, to Boston, Massachusetts. In 1956, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act, allocating $25 billion for the construction of 41,000 miles of interstate highways, including Interstate 90. The route traversed mountains, valleys, rivers, and even Lake Washington in Seattle, necessitating the construction of bridges, tunnels, and elevated sections. The Murrow Bridge is the second longest floating bridge in the world. At 6,620 feet, it is one of the Interstate 90 floating bridges. Interstate 80 is the second longest highway in the United States. It is 2,903 miles for 1,670 kilometers long. It passes through 12 states. Interstate 80 crosses the Mississippi River twice. Interstate 80 passes through several national parks and preserves: Yosemite National Park, Grand Canyons National Park, and Grand Teton National Park. Interstate 75 is the third longest American highway. It passes through 10 states and has a total length of 2,407 miles, 3,873 kilometers. Interstate 75 connects the United States with Canada. Interstate 75 was built between 1956 and 1985. Interstate 75 crosses the Ohio River 13 times. Interstate 10 is the fourth longest American highway. It passes through 8 states and has a total length of 2,460.3 miles, 3,959.53 kilometers. Construction of Interstate 10 opened in 1957. Interstate 10 passes through the Sonoran and Mojave Deserts, the Sierra Nevada Mountains, and the Gulf of Mexico. The total length of Interstate 40 is 2,259 miles, 3,632 kilometers. It passes through 14 states, from Wilmington, North Carolina to Barstow, California. Interstate 40 is a popular tourist route. During your trip, you will visit Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Tennessee Valley National Park, and Arches National Park. Interstate 5 is the longest highway in the United States. That runs along the Pacific coast. The highway has a total length of 2,248 miles, 3,615 kilometers. Construction of Interstate 5 began in the 1960s and ended in the 1970s. In Washington, between 1964 and 1967, 150 miles to 141 kilometers of highway were built in just 3 years. Interstate 5 crosses the border between the United States and Canada in the city of Vancouver, Canada. Interstate 20 is the only interstate that passes through all 5 southern states of the United States. The total length of the highway is 2,200 miles, 3,540 kilometers. Interstate 20 crosses the Mississippi River 3 times. Interstate 20 is part of the Interstate Highway System, which was built between 1956 and 1985. Interstate 65 is one of the longest highways in the United States. It passes through 8 states and has a total length of 1,829 miles to 1,940 kilometers. Interstate 65 passes through the highest point in Kentucky, Kentucky Mountain for 1,041 feet. Interstate 65 is part of a NASCAR route that runs through several states. Interstate 65 crosses the U.S.-Mexico border at Memphis, Tennessee. Interstate 70 is 2,407 miles, 3,873 kilometers long, and is part of the interstate highway system. Interstate 70 passes over the highest passes in the United States twice: Leadville, Colorado, which is located at an altitude of 188 feet, 3,106 meters, Quinnipiac Pass 14,265 feet, 4,344 meters. Interstate 70 holds the Colorado state record for the longest continuous concrete road at 26 miles 42 kilometers. Interstate 70 crosses the Mississippi River 4 times. Interstate 15 is the longest highway in Utah, with a total length of 1,475 miles to 1,373 kilometers. Interstate 15 passes through 2 of the 5 largest cities in the United States, Los Angeles and Las Vegas. Interstate 15 crosses the Mojave Desert, passing through the Grand Canyon, which is one of the most famous natural wonders in the world.